Welcome to Senior Health Star, a sanctuary where we honor the beauty, wisdom, and joy of life's later years. If you're joining us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button and become part of our growing community of seniors, caregivers, and dreamers who find inspiration in stories that touch the soul. Today, we're embarking on a deeply heartfelt journey, one that carries us back to the innocence of childhood through the eyes of those who've lived long, full lives. This is Asterisk, Top 10 Things of Elderly Wisdom Often Miss Their Childhood. Asterisk. As we age, something extraordinary unfolds within us. The burdens of life, the struggles, the heartaches, the endless to-do lists begin to slip away, like leaves falling from a tree in autumn. Our hearts grow lighter, purer, almost as if we're becoming children again, not in frailty, but in wonder. In our golden years, we find ourselves longing for the simple, radiant joys of youth, those fleeting moments that shaped our spirits and linger in our memories like soft whispers. So, come with us on this nostalgic voyage. Picture yourself surrounded by the world's most breathtaking landscapes, from the majestic Grand Canyon to the rolling hills of Tuscany and the serene gardens of Kyoto. These places, like our memories, are timeless, inviting us to pause, reflect, and reconnect with ascension. Let's explore the top 10 things seniors often miss about their childhood, weaving stories and reflections that will warm your heart and remind you of the beauty and simplicity. Settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Close your eyes and think back to a summer day when you were young. Can you feel the soft grass tickling your bare feet, the warm breeze brushing your cheeks as you race through the neighborhood, heart pounding with excitement? For so many seniors, childhood was a golden era of boundless freedom. Neighborhoods were safe havens, transformed into sprawling playgrounds where kids roamed from sunrise to sunset. You'd hop on your trusty Schwinn bicycle, pedals spinning furiously, racing friends to the corner store, the park, or that secret hideout by the creek. There were no schedules, no smartphones pinging with notifications, just the pure, unfiltered thrill of adventure. I met Margaret, an 82-year-old from a small town in Ohio, whose eyes sparkled as she shared her story. Back in the 1940s, summers were endless, she said. We'd climb oak trees until we could see the whole world, or at least our little corner of it. We built forts from old crates, played tag until we collapsed in giggles, and only came home when the streetlights flickered on. The world felt so big, yet so safe. Her voice softened, a wistful smile crossing her face. I miss that freedom, the feeling that anything was possible. Margaret's story isn't unique. Across America, seniors recall similar days, mornings spent chasing fireflies, afternoons fishing in a pond, or evenings lying in the grass, staring at a sky full of stars. These weren't just moments of play. They were lessons in courage, creativity, and joy. They taught us to explore, to imagine, to live fully in the present. Tuscany's timeless landscapes, with their soft curves and warm light, evoke those endless summer days of childhood. Just as these fields stretched toward the horizon, so too did our young hearts stretch toward possibility. As we grow older, we find ourselves yearning for that simplicity, for days when the only plan was to run, laugh, and discover. In our golden years, that childlike freedom calls to us, urging us to rediscover the world with fresh eyes, unburdened by the weight of years. Long before Netflix binges or YouTube marathons, entertainment was a sacred ritual, a shared experience that brought families together. Seniors often recall huddling around the family radio, their imaginations ablaze with the voices of The Shadow, Fibber McGee and Molly, or Amos and Andy. The crackle of static couldn't dim the magic of those stories, which painted vivid pictures in young minds. Later, the arrival of television ushered in a new era. Bulky television sets with rabbit ear antennas brought asterisk eligibility for user. Shows like I Love Lucy, The Ed Sullivan Show, or The Mickey Mouse Club into living rooms across America. John, a 78-year-old from Austin, Texas, chuckled as he shared his memories. We had one television in the house, and we'd fight over who got to sit closest to it, he said. The screen was tiny, maybe 12 inches, but to us, it was a portal to another world. We'd laugh until our sides hurt at Lucy and Ricky, or cheer for Elvis when he performed on Ed Sullivan. It wasn't just about the show set. It was about being together, all of us piled onto the couch, sharing that moment. His eyes grew distant. I can still hear my sister giggling next to me. Those nights made us a family. These moments weren't just entertainment. They were glue for the soul. They taught kids to dream, to laugh, to feel part of something bigger. The radio and television were storytellers, weaving tales that sparked wonder and connection. Maui's rhythmic tides mirror the steady comfort of those childhood evenings, when the world felt safe and stories brought us closer. As we age, we crave that simplicity again, that feeling of being wrapped in a story, surrounded by love. In our later years, those memories remind us that joy doesn't need a big screen, just a big heart. Oh, the candy store, a child's kingdom, where a handful of pennies could buy a world of delight. For a nickel, you could fill a paper bag with Tootsie Rolls, bazooka gum, or those little wax bottles filled with sugary syrup. Soda fountains, often nestled inside corner drugstores, were just as magical, serving frothy root beer floats, creamy milkshakes, or cherry cokes fizzing in tall glasses. The air smelled of sugar and possibility, and every choice felt like a grand adventure. Eleanor, an 85-year-old from St. Augustine, Florida, lit up as she described her childhood haunt. The dime store on Main Street had a bell that jingled when you walked in, she said. I'd save my allowance all week, clutching those coins like treasure. Choosing between a Hershey's bar or a bag of M&Ms was the biggest decision of my life back then. She laughed, her hands tracing the memory. It wasn't just the candy, it was the feeling of being trusted to choose, of being a little grown-up for a moment. Those trips to the candy store weren't just about sweets. They were about independence, joy, and the thrill of small victories. They were a child's first taste of freedom, wrapped in crinkly cellophane. Like Norway's towering fjords, those childhood treats loomed large in our young hearts. A single piece of candy could make the world feel right again. As we grow older, we chase that pure, unfiltered sweetness, not just in taste, but in spirit. We long for moments that make us feel alive, chosen, and whole. For just 25 cents, you could step into a world of wonder at the local movie theater. The velvet curtains parted to reveal Disney classics like Snow White or Cinderella, or thrilling serials like Flash Gordon. The scent of buttery popcorn filled the air, and the projector's hum promised magic. In the darkened theater, kids gasped at wicked witches, cheered for brave heroes, and dreamed of far-off lands. Robert, an 80-year-old from Sacramento, California, leaned back as he reminisced. Saturday mornings were sacred, he said. We'd bike to the theater, a whole gang of us, quarters jingling in our pockets. We'd watch Bambi, or The Lone Ranger, eyes wide as saucers. When the hero saved the day, we'd clap like it was our victory too. That theater was our castle, and we were its knights. His voice cracked slightly. I'd give anything to feel that magic again. Those movie outings weren't just escapes, they were sparks for the imagination. They taught kids to believe in goodness, to dream beyond their small towns, to feel part of a bigger story. Yosemite's mighty peaks, like those childhood movies, remind us of a time when the world felt vast and full of promise. In our golden years, we seek that awe again, that moment when the screen lit up, and so did our hearts. We long to be swept away, to believe in heroes once more. Before Xbox or iPhones, play was raw, real, and gloriously simple. Marbles clinked in chalk-drawn circles, each shot a test of skill. Jump ropes whirled in rhythmic chants. Cinderella, dressed in yellow, while stickball turned vacant lots into Yankee Stadium. These weren't just games, they were bonds, forging friendships in sweat and laughter. Mary, a 79-year-old from Brooklyn, New York, grinned as she recalled her glory days. I was the double Dutch queen, she boasted. Me and my girls would jump for hours, our feet flying, our voices singing. If you missed a step, you laughed and tried again. Those ropes didn't just keep us moving, they kept us together. Her hands clapped softly, keeping time with the memory. I still hear those chants in my dreams. These games built more than muscles, they built character. They taught resilience, teamwork, and the joy of creating something from nothing. Every scraped knee was a badge of honor, every victory a story to tell. Kyoto's blossoms, here today and gone tomorrow, mirror the fleeting joy of childhood games. They remind us that the best moments don't last, but their warmth lingers. As we age, we yearn for that playful spirit, that laughter that made every day a win. We're halfway through our journey, and we hope these stories are wrapping you in warmth and nostalgia. If you're loving this trip down memory lane, please subscribe to Senior Health Star and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video that lifts your spirit. Share this with a friend who'd smile at these memories, and let's keep exploring the childhood joys that seniors hold dear. There's so much more to come. Imagine a world where the only screen was the one in your mind. No smartphones buzzing, no emails piling up, just you and your imagination. Free to roam. Kids devoured comic books, Batman, Archie, Little Lulu, their pages worn from endless rereading. Adventure novels like The Hardy Boys or The Boxcar Children fueled dreams of mystery and courage. Afternoons were spent building model planes, painting by numbers, or cutting paper dolls from Sears catalogs. Play was tactile, creative, and gloriously unplugged. Thomas, an 83-year-old from Springfield, Illinois, smiled as he shared his story. "I'd read Superman until the staples gave out," he said. "I'd lie in the hammock, picturing myself soaring over Metropolis. No one interrupted menotexts, no calls, just me and my heroes." His hands traced the air as if flying. "That quiet let my mind run wild." This tech-free world wasn't empty, it was full. It gave kids space to dream, to build, to be. Every story, every project was a seed for the future, planted in fertile young minds. Like the Grand Canyon's endless expanse, a childhood without technology offered room to breathe, to wonder, to create. In our later years, we seek that stillness, again a chance to unplug and rediscover the worlds within us. We long for days when imagination was our only device, and it was enough. The dinner table was more than a place to eat, it was the heart of the home. Every evening, families came together, no TVs blaring, no phones chiming. Parents asked about school, kids shared tales of triumph or trouble, and everyone listened. The food wasn't always gourmet, maybe meatloaf or tuna casserole, but the love was 5-star. Linda, an 81-year-old from Grand Rapids, Michigan, spoke softly as she remembered. "Mom's meatloaf was a little dry, but we didn't care," she said. "We'd sit around that table, all 6 of us, talking over each other. Dad would tell stories about his Navy days, and my brother would brag about his home run. Those dinners weren't just meals, they were us, together, unbreakable." Her fingers brushed a locket, a keepsake from those days. "I'd give anything for one more night like that." Those dinners built more than appetites. They built trust, understanding, and roots. They reminded kids they were seen, heard, and loved, no matter what the day had brought. Tuscany's villages, with their shared meals and timeless bonds, echo those childhood dinners. They remind us that connection is life's true nourishment. As we age, we crave that closeness again, that moment when the table was full, and so were our hearts. Music wasn't just sound, it was a heartbeat, a revolution, a dream. From Glenn Miller's swing to Chuck Berry's rock and roll, kids found their rhythm. Record players spun hits like Blue Suede Shoes, La Bamba, or The Twist, filling basements and school gyms with energy. Sock hops and prom nights turned shy teens into dancers, their feet flying, their hearts soaring. James, a 77-year-old from Savannah, Georgia, grinned wide as he recalled his youth. "I'd mow lawns for weeks to buy a new record," he said. "When Jailhouse Rock came on, I'd crank the volume and dance like Elvis himself. And dancing with my high school crush at the spring formal? That was pure magic, no moment ever topped it." His foot tapped, as if the song still played. Music made us feel alive. Those songs weren't just catchy, they were freedom. They gave kids a voice, a vibe, a chance to be bigger than their small-town lives. Every note carried a memory, every dance a story. Like Maui's hula, which weaves history into every step, childhood music wove our lives together. In our golden years, those songs still call to us, pulling us back to dance floors and dreams. We hum them softly, and suddenly, we're young again. Holidays were pure enchantment, each one a jewel in childhood's crown. Halloween meant cardboard witch hats and pillowcases heavy with candy Snickers, Milky Ways, candy corn. Christmas brought snow-dusted mornings, stockings stuffed with oranges and yo-yos, and the thrill of unwrapping a Red Ryder BB gun or a Betsy Wetsy doll. 4th of July sparkled with sparklers, parades, and fireworks that painted the sky. Susan, an 84-year-old from Boulder, Colorado, glowed as she shared her memories. Christmas Eve, I'd lie awake, listening for Santa's sleigh bells, she said. The tree wasn't fancy, just popcorn strings and paper stars, but it was perfect. And Halloween? We'd run door to door, screaming trick or treat, until our throats were hoarse. Her hands clasped, as if holding those moments. The world felt like a fairy tale back then. These holidays weren't just dates, they were magic. They taught kids to believe, to celebrate, to hold traditions tight. Every costume, every gift, every firework was a brushstroke on the canvas of memory. The aurora borealis, weaving light through Norway's darkness, mirrors the wonder of childhood holidays. They remind us that magic is real, if we open our eyes. As we age, we chase that sparkle again, that moment when the world felt enchanted, and so did we. Childhood was a cocoon, soft and secure. Front doors stayed unlocked, neighbors were friends, and the world felt kind. Life moved slowly, uncluttered by rush or worry. Kids walked to school without fear, played in backyards until dusk, and trusted that home was always waiting. It was a time when less was more, and love was everything. William, an 86-year-old from Richmond, Virginia, spoke with quiet reverence. We didn't have much hand-me-down clothes, a beat-up radio, but we had each other, he said. Our street was family. If I fell off my bike, Mrs. Thompson next door would patch me up and send me home with a cookie. That's what life was: safe, simple, good. His eyes glistened. I miss that world. This simplicity wasn't boring, it was beautiful. It taught kids that happiness didn't need money or gadgets, just time, trust, and togetherness. It was a foundation, steady and true, for all the years to come. As we age, we circle back to where we began, not as children in body, but in spirit. The storms of life, heartbreaks, losses, triumphs fade like distant thunder, leaving behind a heart that's pure, open, and ready to embrace joy. These 10 memories: outdoor play, radio nights, candy stores, movie theaters, simple games, unplugged days, family dinners, music, holidays, and safety are more than nostalgia. They're the threads of our story, woven into who we are. They remind us that life's truest treasures are free. A laugh, a hug, a moment shared. For those seeking deeper peace, turn inward. Spiritual teachings, whether from the Bible's Psalms, the Buddha's Four Noble Truths, or the writings of Rumi, offer light for the soul. Try meditation. Sit quietly for 10 minutes, breathe deeply, and let thoughts drift like clouds. Prayer, mindfulness, or reading sacred texts can ground you, connecting you to the childlike wonder within. These practices don't just soothe, they awaken, reminding us that peace is our birthright, as natural as a child's smile. If these stories warmed your heart, please subscribe to Senior Health Star and join our family. Share this video with someone who'd love to reminisce. And let's keep celebrating the wisdom and joy of our golden years together. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay well, stay curious, and keep shining bright.